Good evening, everybody. Hey, this is Terry with NSPS TV podcast. Hey, man, I know today is Friday, and I'm usually investigating on Friday, but it is the day after Thanksgiving. For those of you that celebrate Thanksgiving and those of you that don't, hey, I really appreciate it. All the good food and everything. But tonight, I am in, I think, Pennsylvania. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, I'm back in Pennsylvania. Hey man, love the state, a lot of history. I came across, you know what? To be honest with you, I was strolling through Facebook, and I have likes with so many paranormal teams from across the country, but this name really stood out, and it's called Next of Kin Paranormal. And I'm like, wow, let me check out these guys and see what they're about. So you know what? I start flimming through, what they're doing over there in Pennsylvania. Not just Pennsylvania, but the surrounding areas also. So I called them up and I'm like, hey man, I love to get you guys on the podcast. I wasn't sure on if I was calling a somebody or I was calling somebody at work. I didn't want to interrupt anybody, but I got a phone call back, hey, and the rest is history. So, hey, gentlemen, please introduce yourselves to the world.
All right. Well, I'm Joe. I'm the dad of Next of Kin. That's kind of how we got our name. And
My name's Dominic. I'm the son.
so yeah, we're a father and son team up here in Bucks County.
Hold on, guys.
All right.
Technical difficulty.
All right, I'm back. Well, you know what? Hey, I really appreciate you guys coming on the show.
No, we're honored that you having us on the show. It's a privilege for us.
And it was such a beautiful day outside. It was 50 degrees. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what? I'm always doing a podcast in the dungeon. I'm always in the dungeon where most of the time I do most of my podcasting. But I decided today, I'm like, man, let me get out of the dungeon, come sit outside, sit out here in the living room, the dining room, where I'm able. What was that?
I didn't hear nothing.
I hear some music.
It ain't here.
It's not here.
Oh, wow.
Oh, hold on for a minute, guys. That's weird.
My phone? Nope.
No, it ain't my phone.
What?
Oh boy.
Everybody on the side.
Are we just like
I don't know.
something?
I think so.
On here.
I think we're cursed.
Like, there's a way it seems like we might be.
I think we are cursed.
What just happened?
Yeah, I think we are cursed.
Hey guys.
We're definitely cursed. It seems like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm back. I don't know what was going on with that. But anyway, hey guys, so I decided to come out of the dungeon and do a podcast in the living room. And it was such a beautiful day, man. The sun was out. I was watching the birds play and all that stuff, man. I'm like, well, then I come to find out, I'm like, wow, man, my laptop don't work. I'm not used to this particular laptop, and I'm like, man, what the heck is going on? It got kind of crazy. So now I wish I was back in the dungeon. You know what I'm saying? But it's okay. It's okay. We will manage through it. All right. Who is the one that started the team? I have to know this.
I don't think either one of us really are.
I got you in.
He's the one who actually wanted to do the paranormal investigations.
Mm-hmm.
it was about 6 years ago, and we took him on an investigation down in Philadelphia at Eastern State Penitentiary.
Okay.
That's where we did our first ever investigation. He really liked it. I was kind of like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, whatever it is, it is. And he just wanted to do more. So we started to do more. And we didn't become an official team until earlier this year, actually. We talked about it, and it was never something that I think we really planned on doing.
Mm-hmm.
Or what do you
Yeah, that's about what I would say.
Yeah.
So how did that work out? I mean, how did that work out for you guys? I mean, you didn't, you
So,
know, sometimes when you planning on not doing something, it always seems to turn out for the best.
yeah, so we went to an investigation earlier this year. Probably I think it was like April. We went to White Hill Mansion in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's where we kind of really started to get the notion for creating our team.
Yeah.
We were actually there with Get Haunted, and we met a whole bunch of great people, and they're the ones who actually really gave us the kickstart and the support to create our team and do what we're doing today. And man, we've been doing a lot.
Well, you know what? Hey, man, congratulations on your success, man. I mean, you as a team that's, that wasn't too sure if you guys wanted to do this, now you're like, well, hey, man, it's not a bad idea that we're doing this. Hey, congratulations, man. Hey, I wish you guys nothing but success,
Thank
in
you.
your upcoming ventures and all that stuff. But you know what? You guys, believe it or not, you guys got a lot of support out there.
Yeah, we've noticed that. And it's all in who we follow and who we help
Mhm.
support and supports us back. We've met so many great people along the way, and the love that we get from them, from the
Mhm.
paranormal family that's out there, it's just fantastic.
Yes, it is. I mean, dude, there. You know what? It is such a honor and a pleasure to be surrounded around a bunch of a bunch of great individuals. So you guys are actually on the good side of that, of that para unity thing. Me myself, I've been across both paths, the good and the bad. And I kind of say, man, I love being on that good side. That good side it's so positive, and it has so much positive energy. Man, it make you want to just push yourself to the limit. On what you want to do and your potential. On being the best paranormal investigators you guys can be.
Thank you.
You know what I'm
Thank you.
saying?
Yeah,
So, hey, stay positive, man. It's always, even when you always gonna have those ones that's gonna bring you down. But if you
yeah,
keep,
and we see that with some of the people that we've become very close with, and we see how the bullshit really stands out and comes out and really tears people down.
yes, sir, it
Um,
does.
Thankfully we haven't experienced that. Hopefully we never will, but
Hmm.
you never know. But we surrounded ourselves with the right people, and that's why I think we're where we are right now is because we found the right people to surround ourselves with. And
Well,
you
okay.
know,
Now, have you guys ever thought about expanding your members, or you guys want to keep it at two?
we talk about it a little bit. We don't really know. We don't really know what to take that next step right now.
Mm-hmm.
We think before we really expanded to other members coming in and joining us, we want to do a few more investigations
Mm-hmm.
um, as next of kin before we really started, asking people to join us.
Okay. You know what?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Are you guys able to jump into the group chat and see some of the comments and some of the individuals that
Yes.
are saying hello to you guys?
Yes. Yeah. Danny Marie. She's with Get Haunted. She was there at the first investigation at White Hill with us, and
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to learn something new, and I did shadow watching with Danny up there, and it was phenomenal that night. She was great.
Danny's nothing but trouble.
Cool.
Yeah, and then Rob and Sarah from Get Haunted as well. Um, I just can't say enough about those two individuals. The love and support we get, and just how we've all gelled and we've really become family.
Cool. Hey,
Um,
that's great, dude.
and being with those guys and following them on their socials and doing everything they can with them, we met Sabrina and Teresa from Two Realm out in Ohio, and we went out to an investigation out there with them.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
we hung out with them for a while and did an investigation up there at the Roundhouse in Ohio, the Cleveland Roundhouse, and that was awesome. Um, Sabrina and her mom, again, two class acts that we were fortunate to have met through the people that we've come to know and love. So, and we're just glad that they're accepting us as their family because we feel like we're all family with them.
Wow, dude, that, you know what? Hell, that make me want to relocate to Pennsylvania and be a part of the family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, all right, guys. Hey, you guys got a lot of love for y'all and then a lot of support, but do you guys have that internal support? What does your wife think about, you doing what you do, and so on and so on? How does the family think about what you guys do?
Well, my wife, she doesn't ever stop us from wanting to go and doing it. Never said no. She never will. I know that. But I think she believes it. She's a skeptical believer.
Mm-hmm.
She does not want to come and do it. It's just not something that interests her to come on an investigation, which I totally understand.
Totally.
But she supported us. She's never said no. We come home, we tell her stories, and she's never said that we're full of shit or anything like that. Or you know, um, she's always been supportive. I mean, and that's anything that we've ever did. My wife has been supportive of anything and everything I've ever said I wanted to do. So,
Well, that's, you know what? Because without that internal support, man, it kind of, you kind of want to, you have a little doubt, because you want that internal support. Outside support is really great, but
yeah.
internal support, when you have that wife or, your grandmother or your entire family behind you and support you, man, that's cool right there,
Oh yeah.
because I've always had that. When I invite teams on, they're like, well, they really don't care what I do. If you mention that word, I really don't care. That means you really don't get that support.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm
No, I
saying?
mean, my mom, his grandmother, his grandparents, they support us too. They find it interesting that, this is something that we got into and we enjoy
Mm-hmm.
doing. Um, so, and we've, like I says, we've just met so many great people that along the way and that helped supported us besides our family.
Well,
So,
that's okay. Now, I'm gonna step over to the son. What made you want to do paranormal investigating? Was it you watching paranormal shows on TV? Did you have a situation with the paranormal? What made you want to jump into it?
Um, so what really made me want to get into it was as a little kid at my grandma's house, I would always see a cat everywhere. I would see a cat. And I would get home and stuff like that, and I'd still
Mhm.
see certain shadows of things. I didn't know fully what I was seeing. I thought it was just my eyes playing tricks on me.
Right.
And then I think I was probably about 11 or 13. I started to get into the ghost TV shows when they started to come out, like really heavily.
Hmm.
And we found out that they did public things, and that's kind of where it started. Was
But the cat that he was seeing, my mom, which is his grandmother, they didn't have a cat in the house.
Oh wow.
So they didn't have a cat. So that's yeah.
Hmm. You know, that's pretty interesting. Now, what was your conclusion about that cat?
I don't see it anymore. That's the
So
thing.
yeah. So there's been lots of um family members with young children at that early age that even when I was younger, my mom said that I would see this cat in the house. And my nieces and nephews, um, that are my cousins and stuff like that, that have
Hmm.
been there, have also said they see this cat in the house, but
Oh
they
wow.
don't. They never had the cat. So when my mom was younger, she had a cat, a black and white cat, and that's the cat that everybody sees. So that cat is still with my mother, we guess.
Wow. That is interesting. You know, it's weird. I've always tell paranormal investigators, man, kids are amazing individuals. You know, one thing I know about kids, they're very open-minded, and and you really got to pay attention to them because they see a lot more than what they're actually going to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Kids sometimes see things they can't explain, or it just frightens them. But if a kid comes to you, you should listen because kids are their mind is so unblemished. I mean,
Yeah.
it is. Oh my God, man! Kids
Well,
are
and
amazing.
I think the other thing that really kind of sticks out for me, and I never realized it until lately. Um, I always used to get like my grandfather used to do a lot when he was younger. He died when I was pretty young, and I'd
Hmm.
always pretty vivid images of him and remember things, doing things with him, and all kinds of stuff like that. And it was just like it was still happening right there and then until I talked to a psychic, and she kind of said, "That's him coming to you all the time." And I never realized it until I talked to her about it, and she said that. And not too long after that, I was doing an investigation, and my grandfather came through, and he was there with us. So it was kind of odd.
Wow, yeah. Okay, let me ask you a question. What is your theory about paranormal? I mean, the whole paranormal situation. Was you ever a non-believer, or were you always a believer on something that's on the other side, or you know, just tell me what you think before you actually started in investigating.
So I've always been, and I've always felt like this, that I'm a skeptical believer. I
Hmm.
always thought there was something else there, with the other side, but I never really understood it. Um, so it's kind of odd that, when we do hear or see things, I don't take it right away that it's paranormal. I have to prove it to myself and try and figure it out. And I ask more questions and do different things to try and figure it out. What do you think?
I'd say yeah, but I haven't had the point of I've never been a non-believer
Hmm.
because I guess from a young kid seeing things and being able to understand that like the things I was seeing were related in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
I've been a non-believer.
Yeah.
I do always try and debunk certain things to make sure to see what it is first, though.
Yeah. So, like, when I was younger, I saw stuff and I never really thought much of it. And then growing up, it just kind of, never bothered me, or I never really thought much about it until, he came around and, he says, "Hey, I want to go do this." And we started doing it. And so many things that I've come across, and so many different people that I've talked to that had experience in this field and doing different things. I was like, holy man, yeah, I've had that happen to me. I've experienced that too. I've seen that. And I just kind of wrote it off as just, my mind playing tricks on me.
Yeah, it does that a lot sometimes. Now, next of kin, paranormal investigators. What kind of paranormal team are you guys? Like I say, I've invested. I mean, I've had different paranormal investigators on the show. I've seen them and I've talked to them. I mean, we do different types of investigating. What kind of paranormal team are you guys?
I don't know.
That's a hard question because we're all over the place. We use equipment, we use ourselves.
Yeah. I think
No.
we're still.
No, what I mean is, are you guys a paranormal team? If I was a residential owner and I called you guys up and I said, "Hey, I need you guys to come check out my house," are you guys equipped enough to do that?
Yeah. We could definitely go and do that. Yeah.
Now, also, are you guys into validation? Or are you guys a paranormal team that's just like to validate, tell me what I want to hear so I won't think that I'm crazy? Or are you guys into something a little bit more heavy?
Definitely validation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're definitely, I think, more of the validation part of it. We're still trying to figure ourselves out as to what kind of team we really are.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're definitely, into the validation thing. But yeah, if a residential, somebody from, the residential sector called us and says, "Hey, I got this going on at our house," yeah, we definitely would go out, try and figure it out and see what was going on. And if it was something that, we didn't really understand or couldn't control at the time or whatever, I know we can make a couple phone calls and we can definitely get more help to help us understand it. So I think we're really trying to figure this out yet still.
Okay. Got a question from Danny Marie.
Okay.
She wants to know, what's your favorite investigation technique? No, I'm sorry. Favorite, yeah.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite, your favorite place to investigate?
Okay. Yeah, I see the question there. So yeah, do you have your favorite location and what makes it your favorite? And then she asked, do you have a favorite investigation technique? What's yours?
Penhurst.
So, well, why is it?
I guess from going there, as we first went there with Penhurst themselves on a ghost investigation. I think that's really what made him believe at that time, because if you go there and you investigate and you have your small groups of people in certain places, no matter where you are in that place, you will get validation on what is there through equipment, just asking questions and knocking. I know in the tunnels personally,
Yeah.
I've gone down there and asked questions like, "Are you down here with us? If you want us to be here, do you want us to leave?" We get audible knocks in the tunnels from the other end of the tunnel.
And
claps and knocks.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy there. I don't know. As far as my favorite place, I don't really know. I don't know if I really have a favorite location just yet. I will say, just recently we were at the Conjuring House,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that place was pretty amazing. I will say that.
Oh,
So that was a really cool place. Um, my favorite technique is changing almost all the time. I used to rely a lot on equipment,
mm-hmm.
and just as I've been doing it more and more, just being there and just being myself, and my own feelings and stuff like that is what I really use to investigate anymore. Um, like my own senses, and just being in that space and opening up to what's there really seems to work.
Wow. Are you a sensitive by chance?
I've been told by different mediums that I've come across that I'm a spirit magnet. I have no idea what that means. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm actually starting to take a mentorship underneath Stephanie Burke,
Mm-hmm.
um, to try and figure out what everybody means when they say that.
I think they mean when they say that is you are a light in the darkness.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it can't. I don't think it can get any simpler than that. Some people try to, use the big word terms and want to say this. Okay, if you are in the dark, you are that light that attracts spirits.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's not a bad thing. You
Yeah.
know,
So
go ahead.
so that's what I'm trying to work to figure out, is to see really what's going on. I know we walk around some places and I just like start getting pulled here and there,
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to
and
pull them back,
he has to pull me back and bring me back.
but sometimes I think I've learned enough to the point of I'm not fully aware, but I'm still aware enough on the intentions of what's going on in certain places that you get
Yeah.
too roped into it and too invested into it that it can
Yeah,
go
I think I
bad.
open myself up too much sometimes.
Uh, you know what? Is that? I don't know. That's such a bad thing. I think
Yeah,
that's a good thing. I mean, people can debate on that, but I
yeah,
think when you open yourself up, people say that's a bad thing because if you open yourself up too much, you can attract negative energy.
yeah, and
But
that's what he gets nervous about, is that I'm going to attract some negative energy. Um, I don't think I've ever felt it, the negative energy. Well,
right,
as of recent, I did a little bit, but I've never really felt negative energy
yeah,
before. It's always seemed kind of positive, and I've never really gone any place and really dove deep into it. So,
okay. Got a question for Danny Marie. Have you guys seen her question?
yep. So,
So I do have plans to build stuff. I'm in SolidWorks right now working on some stuff. I actually ordered some parts about a day and a half ago to really put it all together. But once I get it fully there, I'll release it. Because I know it's going to be a little bit of tweaking and soldering and figuring out how what I have to do with it.
yeah. So right now he started doing, we call it the knock rod.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna grab one. So it's a a pole that's got lights on it and a sensors.
It's a motion
Right.
It's a motion sensor. It has audible and visible.
battery.
So
Yeah, this is consisted of LEDs. We do white, red, green, blue, purple, and this is just the motion sensor up top.
Oh,
That
that looks interesting.
so
yeah,
it's actually I know some motion sensor people have the issue with the motion sensor. You can't move it. If
Mm-hmm.
you ever go on the stairs or something like that,
Right.
put it at the bottom of the stairs so you could shoot up the stairs.
Well, hell, how much you want for it?
Well, we sell we sell singles and
Four
we
different
sell
kinds.
doubles, and we sell them in different lengths.
All right. Hey, I would like to welcome Paranormal Connection. Hey guys, how you guys doing? Welcome to the show. If you guys
So,
got any questions, please feel free to ask.
but yeah, that's one of the things he started doing, and I know he's been tinkering and stuff. He's even kind of keeping me in the dark about what he's doing. So he has that background in it.
Went to school. Well, I went to school for electromechanical engineering. So
Yeah.
I know the mechanical side of things. I'm heavily into the electrical side of things.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
wow. Okay. Hey, let me ask you guys a question, man. How do you guys feel about cemeteries?
I'd like to try and get into a few. I've actually contacted a few places down here around by me, and I've got shut down.
Really?
Yeah, that they wouldn't let us in there. Saying that once they brought it to the board, the people
Oh
on the
my
church,
God.
that it's not something they were interested in. So
No, they didn't bring up the B word.
oh yeah, yep, the board, yep, sir.
They brought up the board, really?
I've even offered to come and talk to them and explain to them what we do and how we do it, and what our intentions are. And they were like, yeah, no, they just shot us right down. So so the area that we're in, it's I guess it's a lot of Mennonite in this area. So they're not quite on board, I guess, with that just yet.
Some horse and buggies.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I think the board, I don't know who's worse, the board or historical society. Because they got so much power, between the two,
Yeah.
it's crazy. And I haven't so much dealt with the board down here, but the historical society in Texas, man, it's like the next government. I mean, because they are so tied into everything, and you really can't get into the big, huge locations until you go deal with the historical society. Now, the historical society, it's all about one thing for them, and it's all about money. The more money you got, the more you can get in it.
Yeah. Well, the two local historical societies that are here by us that he actually went and talked to were pretty open to talking with us and setting up a meeting to kind of to see what we can do in some of the places around where we are currently. So, I mean, the area that we're in, it's so rich in history and paranormal activity. Some of the places, there's, just down the road from us, there's 4 or 5 places that, they're crazy with activity that we hear about.
And from the Underground Railroad to hiding the Liberty Bell in the town we're from.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The one restaurant that's down in town from us here, there's a part of the tunnel from the Underground Railroad that goes right into their basement. And they say that there's an apparition of a young boy that shows up at that tunnel entrance every so often. So there's another restaurant 2 minutes from me, the Spinners Town Inn and Hotel, that there's a lady in the basement there that shows up and just kind of does her own thing. And I've talked to some of the people in there, and they say, yeah, in the middle of the night when we're closing up, that they see it. So
they're even
And the craziest thing is it seems like people are afraid of history.
Yeah.
And because when you think of paranormal investigators, the first thing they say is, well, we don't do stuff like that. They don't want us to communicate with the dead, or but the thing is, everybody that I've communicated with since I've been investigating, no matter what location I was in, they contributed, they had some part of history that came with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And knowing that you guys are in a part of the state where all that, Underground Railroad, the American history, I mean, the wars that those guys have fought up, and then there is so much
Yeah.
history,
Oh, yeah.
and you can learn so much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's the one highway that's out here, 663. It's the John Fry's Highway. That's where the troops came marching up for there's a huge battle hill called the Fry's Rebellion. So, like I said, this area is just so rich with it. From here to Bethlehem to south of us, this area is just so rich with history and things that have happened here.
Yes.
So,
Yes. And Irene, you're right. History is so full of dark secrets, and believe it or not, man, there are a lot of historians out there that knows some of these dark secrets because they've been around history books and so on and so on. Hey, man, some people might not want that history out.
yeah. That's kind of, we're finding that out too,
Yeah, it's pretty hard, man. But the one thing I do like about Texas, there are a lot of locations here that you can go to, you can investigate, and nobody will bother you. Some of the locations, some of the people here are open to it. They are welcoming you to these locations, and that's the great thing about it, man. In Texas, you're able to do things like that. And I noticed some of the states in the Northeast, Maine, New York, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, man, you guys literally would have to donate an arm or a leg just to even get in a place.
Yeah, true. You really have to.
And is it fair? No. You know what I'm saying? Because all thing you want to do is, teach. Because being a paranormal investigator, it's not just investigating, but you're teaching. Because people don't know, that's our job to teach them so they will know.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
And it's crazy. And I can honestly say, man, cemeteries, graveyards, man, there's a cemetery, let's see, 2 minutes from here. Texas has cemeteries like we got Walgreens.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Some of them are historic. Some of them have, not so historic. But most, believe it or not, guys, most of our historic cemeteries, if it's taxpayer funded, you have access to, whether it's day or night. Now, only thing they're gonna tell you is be respectful.
Yeah, and every location we've been to, every place we've gone, everybody that we've come across, we've always said that. We always, that's how we roll. We go to a location, we meet people, we talk to people, we talk to the owners, we tell them, we're respectful, we don't disrespect, we don't antagonize. We're there to learn the history. We're there to find out what's going on, see who's here, why are they here, and that's what we're about more than anything.
Wow. Yeah.
Is to understand and just to understand the history of wherever it is we go, whether it's a restaurant from the 1800s or an abandoned prison or a mental hospital, or a residence, whatever spirits are there, we're just there to be respectful, and learn why they're there, if they have messages they'd like to give to anybody. You know, that's the investigators that we're becoming, and that's the
Right.
investigators we want to be.
I clearly understand that. Well, you know what? Mark Brown. Mark Brown said, man, you can go to jail in a cemetery in Georgia.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a weird law.
Yeah, I think here too. I think they're gonna trespass us, and
Yeah, they'll probably call state police for a trespass notice.
Well,
yeah,
hey, but okay, guys, let's do a little. How can I say it? Do a little law searching here. Okay, anything that's funded by the state, city, that's your property. If you're paying taxes, if you pay any kind of taxes for a property that's historically funded, you have every right to be there.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Unless they got a big padlock on it. I
yeah,
understand that. But anything that's state funded, locally funded, that's your tax money. You have every right to be there.
yeah,
And it's crazy how, state laws want to, state or, county or whatever laws say that you can't be here. And the only thing you got to ask them is, where's the funding for this coming from? And if
yeah,
it's state, if it's state funded, you're funded. If it's your tax dollars that's paying for it, you have every right to be there. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I've come across that before, and man, the state trooper actually told me, well, what are you guys doing? I'm like, man, we're investigating. We're investigators. He's like, oh man, great. Can I
yeah,
join you guys for like
yeah,
15 minutes? And I'm like,
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
He investigated with us for like 15 minutes, man. And he's like, well, I got a call. I got to go.
yeah,
And I'm like, well, cool. Hey, can I take a picture with you before you go?
yeah.
We took
Yeah,
a picture.
we've been investigating for a few years, and usually the places we go and investigate, we're with an event company like Get Haunted or Interstate Paranormal. We've been with, so we're going to places that they've had, and we're with them. So it's hard to understand what they're going through, and
Right.
as a fresh team that we just really formed, like I said earlier this year, to try and figure that all out. It's like mind blowing when I call somebody and they say, well, you can't do this, you can't do that, and we got to talk to these people and those people. So,
Or event insurance. Some
You know,
people,
yeah.
yeah,
The biggest problem is that when people say that, they're just throwing up roadblocks for you guys.
yeah, yep, yeah,
They're like,
and then,
well, they have every power to say yay or nay.
mm-hmm,
But they rather say that they don't want to say either or. They're like, oh well, let me call this guy, this person, and see. But hell, they never call anybody because hell, you never hear nothing from them again. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not trying to, tell you guys how to investigate, because one thing I do know, everybody investigate different.
yeah,
State laws are different between Texas and Pennsylvania. And you know what? And I can be honest with you guys. If I had some of the locations that you guys have down here, that you guys have up there, and there's some way I can snap my fingers and have them down here,
yeah,
man, I can honestly tell you,
yeah,
it would be on. The show
yeah.
ain't nobody gonna tell me I can't. I'm going.
So
I'm gonna do this.
I've been talking to a lot of local owners here of different places, and I'm slowly breaking them down and starting to really get them thinking that maybe we really should have you guys come in here and check this place
Yeah,
out. So
because
two of the places that I've really wanted to check out down here, I've slowly wore them down, and we're actually communicating back and forth more and more. So, and then there's other places that they just in normal conversation, we're talking, and they'll see us with our shirts on or
Mm-hmm.
his old hospital hat, and say, "So what do you guys do? What's what all that stuff?" And we tell them what we're doing,
Yeah,
and they're like, "Oh wow, that's awesome!"
that was
And
actually
then
really recent.
yeah, so that's something that may be popping up later this summer. That's kind of going to be a big secret thing that we got going on. So
Yeah.
Well, you know what, man?
look out for summer of 2024.
Well, you know what? Hey, I hope you guys have a lot of success.
Thank you.
Speaking of success, man, are you guys? How far are you guys willing to travel for an investigation? What is your range?
Well, we've been to West Virginia, Kentucky.
Well, we just went to
We
Indiana.
just went to Indiana. We've been to New York, Ohio, Connecticut, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
So really, it's not.
Maryland.
Yeah, we're really. Well, how far?
Well, hey, if I ever throw you guys the invite, man, I hope to see you down here.
We would probably hop a plane and come on down here. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, that would be interesting. What's up, Two Brothers Extreme Paranormal? How you guys doing today?
What's up, Two Brothers?
Glad to have you guys on the show. I got those guys on the podcast in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I'm really curious to see, what those guys are doing.
I know those guys. We actually got to investigate with those two guys. Phenomenal team. Very professional. They know their stuff. They're fun to hang around with and be with. So we're looking forward to hanging out and doing some more stuff with them this coming year. So yeah.
You know what, dude? It seemed like they got it together, man. I can't wait to sit down and talk with them, and hold a conversation with them. How do you guys feel about Hollywood?
Hollywood and how they
you guys
portray
feel
it?
about Hollywood?
That's a hard one.
Yeah, I mean,
because I've met some people who've come and gone off of certain shows that are saying so some of it is scripted, some of it isn't. But I know people from YouTube that I've met before that they're like they've been asked to do TV shows, and it's a little more fun to be on YouTube without that restriction of the evidence, certain things you need to say or have to say.
Yes, sir.
It was more or less the evidence and how they wanted to portray everything.
Yeah, you're totally right. And you know what? And to be honest with you guys, Hollywood, when it came to paranormal investigating, it had at the beginning it had a positive feel to it.
Yeah.
It really did. It felt really positive. It felt like something that if you do your research and you do your history, you possibly can be successful into this into this field. But as time goes and the years pass by, it kind of turned negative. And it kind of put a poor light on paranormal investigators because now you got these paranormal investigators that are 18, 19, 20 years old that are quote unquote call themselves paranormal investigators, but haven't done anything research, background, nothing on what they're getting themselves into. If
they got to go out. They got to shadow teams with more experience, like Two Brothers, the Get Haunted team, Two Realm. You got to go out with teams like that and shadow them to learn really what's going on.
Exactly.
Even if they're not an official team and they're just,
a bunch of friends,
that have been doing it for a long time. Shadow these guys. That's where you're going to learn. That's how you're going to figure out what's going on. And when they tell you, do your research, do this, do that,
Yes,
That's
sir.
experience is the best thing because they're seeing this on TV, and it's like all these places are so demonic. Like every place at the one show, it's like everything they did was demonic, that they were constantly getting possessed and doing this and doing that.
Oh, the
I
D word.
understand there's things out there. I know some people that have had things happen, that I know, and I believe them wholeheartedly what they've experienced. But to see it every week on TV, it's like, come on, man. You're
Yes,
you're
sir.
making a mockery of it, and you're making a mockery of the people that are really dealing with that type of situation.
Yes, sir. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And and to me, it's not fair because if you don't, like you say, if you don't do what you need to do, you can fall into a situation real quick that you don't want to be in. And and guys, I'm not for sure how many people are on the listening or watching on the podcast. Every ghost spirit, it's not a demon. That's
Yeah,
something that we have to get through to people. Just because you got a spirit out there that's a little reckless, that might throw something at you or might knock something off the wall, doesn't mean that it's a demon. It means it wants to get your attention.
I
exactly.
think
You know what I'm saying?
I
It
think
means, yeah, it means that, and you know what? It could be your grandmother, your aunt, your sister, somebody that passed away long, long time ago. You never even knew that was a part of your family. But if
Yeah,
that spirit has a connection to you, they're gonna figure out some kind of way to, to talk to you, communicate with you, you know. And so, guys, please, everything is not demons. What's the percentage of a paranormal investigator ever coming across something like that? What, two, maybe three in a million?
yeah.
And I'm just throwing those numbers out there. I'm not even for sure. If anybody on the chat can tell me what those numbers are, please put it in the chat so we can know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I really don't. But man, come on, dude. I mean, it's not fair to other paranormal investigators when you got paranormal investigators out there saying that everything that they've encountered was a demon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. So, yeah, the
Yes.
Hollywood thing. I mean, hey, Hollywood's great for a good laugh,
Yeah,
and
you get one.
it's for their ratings and stuff like that. But if you really want to understand the paranormal field and understand what's out there, you know, go to an investigation. Talk to people that really investigate. Talk to people that have really had real true life experiences in this. And you're going to see it's nothing like what you're seeing on TV.
Nothing like. Those guys on TV don't put in the heart. There's a lot of work that needs to be done after an investigation. There's a lot of work that needs to be done before an investigation. Don't think, guys, if you anybody out there that's curious about being a paranormal investigator, it's like a full-time job. You're gonna put in work
Yeah. Yeah.
regardless.
Oh yeah.
And if you are a three-man team, two-man team, a 10-man team, no matter how many people you have on your team, somebody's putting in work.
Yeah. And the more people you have, the more work you're going to be doing.
Exactly.
So, because I mean, it's the more you're going to experience, the more places you're going to have to go and check out and stuff like that, and different things. So, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, because just imagine. Let's see here. You got a 15-man team. You got 15 people on the team. Okay, 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, and your team is broke up into threes. Okay, yeah, you got a camera. You got a camera tech per team. So that right there evens out to 15. Am I correct? Okay. So not only that, you got 3 cameras you need to watch video for. Each person is gonna have a an audio device with them.
Yeah.
So you're not only looking, you got to look at those cameras, you got to look at the audio device. It's a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people just don't understand. When I go on investigation, man, there's a lot of stuff to do. It takes
Yeah.
weeks,
Yep.
for something to put something out. And, in my team, sometimes I get discouraged because my team still has video and audio that we ain't even looked at 2, maybe 3 months. We are
Yeah.
backlogged
Yeah.
for
No.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's no joke, man. If you can't, one thing I noticed about paranormal investigating is you'll get out of it what you put into it. If you put your
Yeah.
hard work
Absolutely.
into it, then you'll be okay.
Yeah.
If you half-ass doing it, then you're
Oh
gonna get
yeah.
half-ass results.
Yeah. I see Paranormal Connections there is asking us if we've tried the Wise cameras. I've never tried it. Don't even know what it is. If did you ever hear of it?
Nope.
Never heard of them, guys.
Nope. All my cameras, my team uses, and it's a big conflict because my team uses their phones for their cameras, which I totally respect that.
Uh-huh.
But me, I'm trying to evolve myself into uh, uh, a different type of paranormal investigator. You know what I'm saying? I've been on this roller coaster for a while there. Because I've using these cameras, I've missed out on so much evidence. That I've tried to catch, but
Yeah.
I'm not that quick. I can
Yeah.
see it, but by the time I turn my camera, it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dominic is our camera guy. He's more into that and sets up all the cameras.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite camera to use, believe it or not, is a Polaroid camera that I just recently bought. I like using that because somebody starts to say they're feeling something, like it snapped that picture right away, and
Quick.
and you get it back and you can look at it. And for some reason, when you take that Polaroid camera picture and compare it to, one of these HD cameras or whatever they have now, there's such a difference in the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I like that old school picture better. So.
And the good thing about that is, can't nobody say that you cropped this or you did that
Yes.
to it.
Yep. Yeah.
That picture.
Yeah.
Once you take that picture, it tells everything.
It tells the story right there
It
and
tells
then. Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And and it's weird because I see a lot of people going towards that. But the craziest things is, man, those whole Polaroid picture cameras are hard to come by. Those old ancients are hard to come by.
Well, the one I got, we got a couple of months ago. We actually went into Walmart and they had some Polaroid cameras there that we bought. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think it was what, about $20?
Oh,
That was more than that.
I think it was about $100.
Oh.
Woo!
So yeah, it's just the old Polaroid camera right there.
Hey, $100, you messing with my beer money. I don't know if I you know what I'm saying? You messing with my bush time on the weekend.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, man. What do you guys think about if you guys was to ever expand your team? Let's say 2 years, 3 years down the line, are you willing to find out, to teach people on what you've learned? Are you guys willing to put like a junior team together, maybe?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I would love to do that. You know, to take somebody and take them through the, what we've learned and teach people our techniques and how we do stuff and things that we've learned from other people and how we do stuff. Absolutely.
Hmm.
To do something like that.
I think that would be great. I mean, because I
Yeah.
think, like we talked about before, it would take some of these youngsters and take them out of harm's way if somebody was to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
I really do think that would be good.
Yeah.
I've thought about it. It's something that I think me and the team might have to vote on,
Yeah.
to see if we can do it. But yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm really thinking
Yeah.
about
There's,
it.
some friends that I have that are very good friends between myself and my wife. Their kids are interested in it. A couple of them are pretty young to really take to some of the locations that we go to. And there's maybe one or two that are, 17, 18 years old or in their
Mhm.
early 20s that we would love to take out with us, but they're in college and stuff like that. So it's hard to work a schedule. And when they're young like that, you don't want to take them to some of the places that we go to, like an old, abandoned hospital or prison or something like that, because you don't really know what's going to happen or how they're going to take something.
Yeah, and like we're talking about when the podcast first started, uh, man, kids.
Great fate. That was one of the comments on the side. Got haunted.
Yeah. All right. Hey, have you guys investigated any of the urban legends that are around the Pennsylvania area?
I have.
What did you
And
do?
what was your outcome to some of those investigations that you about your urban legends over there?
So one of our urban legends up here is it's called the Bush Wookie, is what they call it.
I never heard of that.
The what?
Called the Bush Wookie.
That's
So
not, that
Is it
sounds
like
like something off of Star Wars.
no,
Yeah, right.
it's so back in probably Civil War versus Indians and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we live in like the Appalachian Mountains almost. There's the Fort Indian Town Gap, and then there's Hamburg, which is the town probably 2 towns down, which has like Cabela's, everything like that. And there's this place called Hawk Mountain,
Yeah.
and you can camp up on the one side of the mountain because it's done by like DNR and all that. And me and my friend, we went coyote hunting up there. And we were up there, we were doing our thing. We start hearing people in the woods. We're the only people up there. And we come out to find out later that um, there's this whole thing that happened with the Indians killed this little kid's family, and he was the one left. He rebuilt the house, opened a bed and breakfast, and killed the people who stayed at the bed and breakfast, and then refed them to the people who stayed there.
Oh,
So with that, me and a couple other of my friends, and to add on to that, we moved campsites after we started hearing people walking around us. We were terrified. So we moved campsites. My truck dies up there on the mountain for about
uh-oh.
15 minutes. And we hear people walking around us again. So we're like, we're getting out of here. We jump started my truck with a battery to a drill. We're getting out of there. And then we didn't really go back for probably about 6 months after that because we were pretty scared. But
Oh,
we
wow.
ended up going back and trying to find what it is. And it's interesting. It's this white mass shadow that runs around the woods up there that we actually saw when we were driving down the mountain leaving because we didn't find anything.
Mm.
I've never heard that story before.
I've never. Well, let's back up because you mentioned something in your story, and it has nothing to do with paranormal. What were you shooting when you went? Why? What's the point of that one?
um, we We get the
Do y'all?
it's for deer.
So
It's deer management.
yeah, there's an awful lot of coyotes around the area and in Pennsylvania, and you can actually we deer hunt and stuff like that. So you can actually go out and shoot coyotes because
It's a nuisance.
it's a
animal.
nuisance animal around here. Yeah, they
Ah,
kill.
okay. It's pretty much okay. Coyotes to y'all is what wild hogs is down here.
Yes, yeah. They kill the deer. They kill people's pets,
Chickens.
chickens,
They hurt.
everything.
They
Yeah,
hurt a lot of horses.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh,
We're
oh,
a prominent area for like show horses and everything like that too. So horses that
okay.
cost $80,000 and above.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now, you guys, you guys investigated Jersey, right?
A little bit.
We were in White Hill Mansion in New Jersey. Yes, that's the only
Mm.
place I think we've been so
Now,
far.
I have to know. You probably heard this a million times, but
It's the Jersey Devil.
does it really exist?
Who am I to say no? Right? I don't know. I haven't really met anybody that
I
has said anything, but I don't really know.
I mean, I know people I do a lot with lifted trucks and mud trucks and all that. I met people who go over to what they call the Pine Barrens, which is kind of like a off-road, backwoods, off-road stuff.
And that's
Mhm.
like
They've
that's
had
like
some
the area that it runs. It says.
they've had some weird things happen where they've had raccoons come out on them, looking straight at them, and they look and
Now,
they watched it just like morph into something else that doesn't make any sense.
hmm. Now,
They
is that trestle? Is that train trestle still there, or did they knock it down?
I don't know if it's still there.
I have no
It
idea.
was so up in the air because I don't remember. I forget. I think the last time I've heard that it was still there was probably 2.5 years ago.
I don't know. I've been hunting a long time. I spent a lot of time in the woods early in the morning. I will say I've heard stuff that's a little freaky. When you're sitting there, and it's still pitch black out and you can't see your hand in front of your face, and you're
Mm-hmm.
20 feet up in a tree stand, and you're hearing things that you know are not a deer and or some other kind of animal.
I mean, I
So
think most recently
Oh
we were
wow!
we
Hey,
were in
hey, you guys are a lot closer to Bobby Mackey's than I am. Are you guys planning on going there one day?
want to. I want to.
so aren't they knocking it down?
No, I thought somebody else bought it out.
What?
Man, I might be thinking of something else, but I thought I just recently saw that Bob Mackey's is getting knocked down.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
That's
and now don't take that I'm 100%
right.
true. So it looks like somebody's saying there it's going to be refurbished.
Oh, okay. Well, I can.
Oh,
Ooh.
now somebody else is saying, oh, they're knocking it down and rebuilding it. Okay.
Now, you know what? That amplifies things.
Oh, hell yeah, that's going to amplify things.
You know what I'm saying? Cause yeah, that's a big no-no. If you, yeah, man, why not just leave it the way that it is?
Yeah.
Unless they're doing it intentionally.
Who knows? Yeah.
I mean, I think a TV show brought so much that one TV show that we all know brought so much attention to that place. It was closed for the longest time, from what I've heard.
I don't know.
That they weren't using it because it
Yeah,
wasn't getting funds.
yeah, you're right. It
The
was
TV
closed.
there.
Somebody bought it and opened it up. They knew the history of it,
Yeah.
and and they just left it like it was, and they were making good money from it. But to go in and you would think that place would have a history significance to it. So why would they go and remodel it?
Oh, well, it looks like somebody's saying it's getting too dangerous, the building. So they're going to rebuild it to, I guess, make it safe.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Ah, man. I don't know about that one. I mean, I think Because history has proved it. I mean, history has told itself. Anytime you knock something down that's already haunted or has spirits there, it the spirits get angry because
Yeah,
it's something that they don't want done, and it messes with them or something, and
yeah.
so it amplifies things maybe 5 to 10 times fold. I'm not quite sure.
Oh,
You know what
so
I'm saying?
Mark Brown on the side there saying they're preserving the well.
Well, I'm wait a minute. Now, last time I heard, the well was covered up. You couldn't even get access to that well.
I don't know. I've never been there, so I don't know. Yeah,
We were
so
pretty close to it, actually. We were in Indiana.
oh, okay.
You
Yeah, I
know,
don't know.
that's pretty weird, man. That they would want to remodel a place like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's crazy.
yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, no matter what they do, I think I think it'll be good for that, still and all. So if they do it right, I don't think it'll be an issue. Like, besides doing this, I do general remodeling work. We do kitchens, bathrooms,
Hmm.
basements, like that. I've worked in a lot of old homes, heard a lot of weird stuff, and felt a lot of weird things. Um, and if you do it right and you do it respectful, especially if the people going in know what it is,
Hmm.
I think the spirits there will kind of understand and learn and kind of take it as a good thing. So
Hmm.
I have friends down the street who bought a very old home and they're redoing it. Um, and some stuff has happened. We've investigated there once or twice already, and we we had some. We were down in their kitchen, and we were just having some supper, and their cabinet door just kind of closed on its own.
Oh
And
wow.
we had a camera running upstairs, and you can hear us talking about the door closing. And this was after the kitchen has been was renovated and stuff, and we're going to get
Hmm.
ready to do the upstairs. The cabinet door closes, and we start talking about it, and then you hear like a noise at the top of the steps, and you see like a ball of light shoot down the
And the
hallway.
REM pod goes
Oh
off.
wow.
Our REM pod went off in the middle of the hallway,
And then the camera turned off.
and well, before the camera turned off, you can hear a hee hee, and then the camera goes off.
Really?
So yeah, it was
I have to find that somewhere.
yeah.
That
So
sounds really interesting.
it was, but it's so the spirit there is kind of playful.
Hmm.
So, but again, like once I found out it was kind of haunted and stuff like that, we kind of addressed it accordingly, and it seemed to help work with it.
Oh
So
wow. Now, in your short time of investigating, have you guys have you guys ran into something you really couldn't understand? You wasn't sure if it was paranormal, you wasn't sure it was real. Have you guys ran across anything like that before?
I have no idea.
well, for me, just recently, we were into Indiana deer hunting.
Oh my God, yes.
So this was the weirdest thing. It was our first day out in the woods hunting, and we're looking through the woods, and it's like
we're probably only about a half mile apart.
yeah, and we're kind of seeing the same shit where we're seeing like old log cabins, like just
I wasn't seeing log cabins. I was seeing he was seeing log cabins. I was watching these like brick towers come up in the middle of the woods and a brick building that looked like it was meant for. It looked like it was something out of Harry Potter almost.
yeah,
Oh
and like,
wow.
once in a while I would see like it looked like walls, just like solid concrete walls, like that would run right through the woods. And I pick up my binoculars to look, and there'd be like nothing there, and so I didn't know if it was because from traveling and everything, we were just kind of tired and we didn't sleep that good that night and we were up real early. So I really can't say what we were seeing was really truly what we were seeing.
In the morning, we got there by gotten to our tree stand by about 5:30, 5:30, 5:45. I got into my tree stand. I was sitting there. I'm looking around, and there's still some moonlight, so you can see pretty well in the woods because there's no leaves on the trees or anything.
Right.
I'm seeing shadow figures dart across the trees.
Yeah, I thought I was seeing some stuff too.
And everybody's told me that I am very known to see shadow figures. It's something common that I see almost every day. That I see a shadow figure, no matter where it is. Seeing these shadow figures dart across the trees, and probably about almost towards about 45 minutes later, towards the better light when the sun started to come up, I heard somebody speak in the woods. I didn't tell you about this.
No.
I heard somebody speak in the woods, and it was just saying, "Hey, it's here." That's all I heard. I looked at my phone. I'm like, okay. I looked at my AirPods. I don't have anything here. And what comes walking through the woods about 5 minutes later was this little young deer come walking through the woods.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, and when people are talking in the woods too, voices carry and stuff like that pretty far. So, like I says, I think what we were seeing was because we were just so tired and just adjusting to everything. Because I know in the tree stand, I was pretty tired towards the end of the day. So, but then we started talking, we started getting some history of the place. And then it's like, I don't know. So yeah, we don't really know what we were seeing or what we were doing or what we were experiencing. So
interesting. A lot of people that deals with nature, sometimes they would tell me is every so often, if you speak to nature, she will speak back.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you believe that?
Absolutely. Yep. So my older brother and I, growing up, my brother is an avid hunter, avid outdoorsman, loves it. He was very big into the American Indian culture and all that kind of stuff. And, I got into a little bit, still am today. I like to read about it and their beliefs and everything that they experience. It's all about nature. And when you're out there and you're experiencing it, it's pretty phenomenal to hear it and feel it of what's actually around you. When you're sitting out there, just like if you're sitting in a building, you feel the energy of the building and how the building changes throughout the evening when you're there.
Right.
When you're sitting in the woods like that and you see how the woods actually change throughout the day, it's pretty phenomenal to see that. But you really got to sit there and take it in and feel it. You got to become part of it.
Right.
Then you'll really start to see and understand how nature really affects us.
Yeah, and I think you will have a little bit more respect towards it too.
Yeah, because I mean, we're part of the earth, we're part of the air, we're part of we're part of the trees, we're part of everything that's there.
I don't want to piss her off.
So exactly, but I mean,
we all know what happens when she gets mad.
Yes, we do. So
I don't want no part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Pennsylvania has a lot of Native Americans.
Yeah.
There is so much up there, that contributes, to Native Americans. Have you guys came across any Native American land that you didn't feel welcomed on?
No, I think
not really.
No. So like back up home where I'm originally from, the Wilkes-Barre Scranton area, specifically like Exeter, Wyoming area up there. This is something that's not in any really history books. There was a huge battle up there called the Battle of Wyoming. And it was with the Indians from that area and stuff like that. And you don't feel any of that negative energy up there. So from it. So there's a big monument with 2 cannons that are up there that are off one of the main roads, Route 11 up there. That's called the Wyoming Monument. And when you go up there and you read about it, kind of tells you everything that was there and what happened there, the battle that was there. So there's actually another thing that we're going to try doing. My sister-in-law's chiropractic office. Again, it's along the Susquehanna River up there, and right next to the office, there's again something that probably not anybody knows about. It's called Queen Esther's Rock. She was if I remember correctly, she was an Indian princess that would have soldiers or whoever put to death on this thing. So it's just crazy. That you can kind of feel a little bit of a different energy when you're around it. But my sister-in-law says she has a lot of activity, and my nephew who works for her now too, that's going to be a chiropractor as well, says that things happen in that building that they just can't explain.
Oh wow!
So we're trying to get up there to do an investigation there. So
hey, I'm down.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, look, guys, look up the Battle of Wyoming, Pennsylvania. Rich in history up there as well. And like I said, some huge battles between with the Indians took place up there. The Susquehanna.
Yeah, and that's crazy because I've never heard of that battle in the history books.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, it's not. And growing up there is the only way I knew about it.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
I moved down to Quakertown here about over 20 years ago, and I never knew there was that big Fry's Rebellion battle that was here. So it's a shame that they don't teach that history more in schools that are local to that area.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get rid of all that, man.
Yeah.
There's a big debate down here in Texas about that. Our governor is not happy. He's not too fond of history.
Yeah.
No, he's really not. And I don't know why people continue voting for him. But it's I don't understand it. But anyway, man, yeah, I don't want to get on the politics. Yeah, politics is something else. Hey, how big is your town? The town that you live in right now?
Let's see. I'm not quite sure. He's going to check on that right now. So I know since I've been here over the last 20 years, it's grown immensely. It used to be all farm fields around me, and now it's all home. So there's 10,000 people here.
Now, out of 10,000, are there any more investigators like yourselves running around the city?
Not that we know of.
It's more my just being younger. It's just my friends who really just like to go and explore things, see things that we can without getting in trouble or anything like that. Like we have a place called the Pyramids. It's an interesting thing. You can drive past it. It's if you look up the Quakertown Pyramids, you're gonna get a backstory because there's something called the Glass House near this lake. So the Lake Nakamixon, it used to be this town of Haycock. They actually flooded the town to make the lake.
Oh, really?
And above that, there's a place called Haycock Mountain. which is a meteorite struck, and there's all these boulders all over the place up there. And then there's the pyramids, which is this, I don't even know how to explain it. It's this eerie, like church thing. It's
Yeah.
me and my friends one night, we passed it really slow. We were looking at it, I'm like, yeah, these are the pyramids, because we were showing our one friend from South Carolina, because he came up before he went to a truck show out here. We're showing him in about 20 minutes, go 5 minutes down the road, this car shows up out of nowhere. Right up, like my rear bumper, like just out of nowhere. We passed one truck pulling out of his driveway, and he went the other way. There's just a car out of nowhere. We ended up getting chased by this car that just showed up out of nowhere.
Oh wow! I think I've seen something like that on TV.
Yeah, yeah, right. I mean,
Well,
as far as like the area that we're in, there's only maybe that's close to us in this area. There's maybe only one other person I know. Her name is Brittany. That's an investigator.
Mhm.
But I don't know of anybody else. I mean, as you go further down south, there's some other guys that we know that are an official team down there. P3S.
I mean, around us, the only people get haunted that I know of.
Yeah, but they're not. Rob's not real.
Rob's only 45 minutes from
but
us.
He's not within the 10,000 people that are here. I think Brittany might be.
Oh, Brittany from Percy, but she's part of.
Yeah, I know, but she's close to us.
Yeah, but that's not even in the same town. That's a different town.
Yeah, it's true too.
Okay, well, you know what, guys, and I honestly can tell you, and it's quite disturbing. Let's go back to this urban legend thing, because it seems like every place I go, no matter who I talk to on my podcast, there's always a Goatman's Bridge. There's always a witch's grave. I mean, there's always something that somebody has the same thing in the same state. To me, that's pretty odd.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think our town, though, it's different because we have those pyramids.
I don't know.
It's just these pyramids. They look like something out of Egypt. It's just pyramids in the middle of our town and in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the woods.
Now, is it Native? Is it Native American contributed to that, you think?
It's all marble, and it has crosses on it.
Hieroglyphs? Is it like hieroglyphs?
No. It's marble and granite with crosses and everything on that. There's fountains and everything. It's wicked.
Have you put a K2 to it to see if it has any energy?
We don't stop because we've heard stories of people coming out with firearms and chasing them off, and dogs, and so we don't necessarily stop to go and see what it actually is, because we're
okay.
Because I mean, when you're in the middle of nowhere, I mean, it's in the middle of nowhere.
Well, you know what? I always go packing when I'm investigating.
Yeah, you got to sometimes.
Always. People might not think, but I always got something on me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I wish some fire demon would. I got some holy water for your ass. I really wish you would. But you know what, man? It's so much out there that's been undiscovered. And you know what? And it takes people like me, you, and all the paranormal teams that's been on the podcast, podcast show that left comments. It's up to people like us to figure out what the heck these things is. Whether it's a spirit or a pyramid like you're talking about, or, all that is for, it's there for us to find out what it really is. Because if it wasn't, it wouldn't be there. Everything has a purpose. I mean, there's a reason for everything. I think so. It's a reason why I ate a big bowl of cereal with a pretty big spoon. I mean, there's a reason that we do a lot of things, you know,
Yes.
but we I think the reason why we're paranormal investigators is because, like I'm saying, we got to figure out what this is. You know,
Yeah,
and
there's just
and some things in this world wants to be discovered. You know what I'm saying? There
mhm.
is some things out there that say, "Hey, come find me. Hey, I want you to discover me." And I mean,
Yeah.
we haven't done it yet. And you know
No.
what? And there are some things out there that can just change everything. Change everything. Everything can be changed.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, and I can't wait for that day to happen. You
Yeah.
know, it might be 60 years from now, it might be 100 years from now when I'm walking around with a cane,
Yeah.
but I am going to try to discover whatever it is. That's just me. All
Yeah.
right,
I mean,
guys. Yeah. All right.
definitely.
We've been on the show for an hour and 31 minutes, and I promise I wouldn't keep you guys on too long. But the stories got good, man, and
Yeah,
we
they
just kept
did.
talking. All right. Hey, where would you guys, if you guys had a bucket list, where would you guys like to go investigate? No, not just in the country, but anywhere in the world.
Where would you want to go?
I mean, I have some friends from over in the UK that keep telling me about all these castles out there.
Yeah, I'd like to go do something like over in Ireland,
Ireland?
or yeah, or maybe like Denmark or something like that. So yeah, anything like that I think would be really cool to go someplace like that.
I think that would be cool. Now, can I ask you guys a question? What country do you think is the oldest country on the planet?
Probably Africa. I would say Africa. 'Cause they have
Africa.
Egypt.
Okay, good.
They have Egypt and everything like that.
Yeah, Africa. But is it the oldest country on the planet?
I
Oh,
don't
like
know.
defined country?
Like a country, not continent, but country. Like the UK,
I
Canada.
Probably
would
the
think the
UK.
UK would probably be the oldest, like up maybe like or like around the Greenland area, Iceland area.
Okay.
I think that's probably
Yeah,
the
like
oldest area.
yeah.
But what country would you think is so diverse in history?
The
Oh
UK,
The
no.
UK?
I think so.
I
I
would
can't
think Japan.
all that is the biblical stuff.
I,
I
I
think
I would definitely think Japan
Mm.
because man, those guys has been around since man, couple hundred years BC.
Yeah.
yeah, true.
I mean, they got so much history over there. Man, I would love to go investigate it. You know,
Yeah.
and just, I mean, I think I would have to. And the biggest question is, do the spirits over there? Do they speak in Japanese, or are spirits universal? They can speak in any language that they choose to.
That would be very interesting to know.
So I've heard, and now I don't know if it's true, but I've heard that they are kind of like universal.
Hmm.
I've heard where they actually brought interpreters in to make sense of stuff, and then I've heard
Mhm.
where people that English speaking people talking to Dutch or um, you know Japanese people or something like that, where they're able to understand, and then if they say something in another language like Spanish, that they're able to still understand it. So
Now, don't that pique your curiosity a little bit?
it does. It
I mean,
absolutely does.
and what's so crazy about it, guys? I, to be honest with you, I'm not looking forward to the day that it's my time. but I'm kind of excited.
Yeah.
But I'm kind
Yeah.
of excited. But the one thing that I don't understand is, and I'm still trying to figure this whole thing out. Uh, why come spirits aren't what's the word I'm looking for? Ghost spirits. Why come they're not? It seems like they have the same mentality that they had when they're young. I mean, when they're alive. I always thought because there's always going to be angry spirits,
Mm-hmm.
but at some point in time is why not just let all that go? You know what I'm saying? Once you are no longer here, you left your physical body. There's no need to be angry.
But the way I look at it is we're energy.
Right.
So the energy that you were when you were in your physical being is still the energy that you carry to the other side. So I think that energy remains the same. I think
So
it may get I think it may get a little bit better and brighter when you go to the other side, but you're still carrying that energy from your previous life with you. So I don't think that really changes all that much. I think it does to a point. I think it brings a little more light and bright energy into you when you cross over and go to the other side. But I think your energy in our life now and people that pass, that energy still goes with them.
man, can you imagine if you've been negative your whole life? It's a good chance you're gonna be negative when you die. When
Well,
you.
yeah. Well, if you've investigated prisons, you know that that's a lot of negative energy in a prison, and prisoners have a lot of negative energy behind them, and that carries over when they cross. It's
Yeah.
not, it gets a little bit lighter and brighter, I think, their energy, but that negative energy still carries with them as they cross.
Yeah, I believe you're right there, buddy. All
Thank you.
right. I do believe. Now, do both of you guys want to go to Ireland, or do one of you guys want to go somewhere else?
I mean, I've never been to the Europe side. I have friends in the UK that I've met through truck shows, riding mountain bikes and everything like that. I'd really like to go to like London area to see what's there.
So, yeah, this past year I was lucky enough to go to Iceland for a vacation, and I talked to people there. Um, there's a lot of history and pretty cool stuff there. There's like no paranormal teams over there
Oh,
that
wow.
I do. So, talking to some of the people over there and listening to some of the stories that are there were really interesting. So, I mean, when you talk about Iceland and Greenland and stuff, you're going back to like the Viking days.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And stuff like that. So, you're talking about their gods and and stuff like that. So
Yes,
it was
sir.
really interesting to hear those stories and stuff they've experienced over there. So
Or I think a good place that I would really like to go is Germany.
Germany would
and
be pretty
Poland
cool. Yeah.
to see how everything from World War I to World War II affected how the
Yeah.
energy is in those countries.
Ooh, concentration camps, man. Those. Oh, man, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a cool place to go and check.
And you're not even allowed. I don't even think you're not even allowed to even take a camera into those places.
No, I don't think you know.
Nope, not at all.
No.
Yeah, man. Just give me a K2 and a voice recorder.
Yeah.
Can you imagine all the energy you're gonna pick? Oh my God, dude.
Yeah. So, I've been to Washington, D.C., and they have the Holocaust Museum. And there's artifacts in that museum from different camps and everything like that. And
You're not allowed to take pictures of
yeah, I think you can. I have some
certain
pictures.
parts. You're not allowed to.
But you walk through certain areas of that building where they have artifacts the energy just changes.
Oh,
It's unbelievable. So there's a section that you walk through that museum, and it's all the shoes from the people of the one camp, and it's children's shoes, mainly children's shoes. And you walk into that section of building, and you feel this overwhelming sadness that's there, and it's just unbelievable. And then as you get towards the end, there's a gallery that you can go in, and they have a film playing, and it's they're interviewing people that were in the camps that survived, and they still have the marks, the tattoos on their arm and stuff like that, and they're telling their experiences and stuff. So, I think just in our area here, to get a chance to investigate even that building, to see what's there and stuff like that. So yeah, I agree with Mark Brown in Italy there.
Yeah, dude, that's man, I would love to go to Normandy Beach, France.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you imagine the energy? Dude, you got 18, 19 people that are old enough to go to war but can't drink a beer.
Yeah.
Right. Getting off that boat.
So
and you got this big old 60 cal machine gun ripping people to shreds.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
I actually, a while ago, we went to a show. I bought a rifle. It's an M1 Grand that I found out. I did a VIN search on it the week before we went away. It went to Normandy Beach in a unit.
Oh, wow.
And it was assigned to an 18-year-old kid.
That's pretty interesting. So
that is interesting, guys.
That is
crazy.
My grandfather was in the military, and I know he was over there. He was in Italy and everything for all of that kind of stuff. And I heard stories that he may have been at one of the beaches. I don't know how true it is. Unfortunately, a lot of his records got lost in the big fire that was down in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't really know what his tour was, but there's pictures of him in Italy and France and stuff like that.
Oh, wow, cool. That is really cool. All right, guys, it's been 1 hour and 42 minutes. Is there any questions that you guys have for me? Please.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah, man. What's your favorite place to investigate, or what's your bucket list place besides Normandy?
You know what? There's a place. Okay, yeah. How far are you guys from New York?
2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours. Have you guys ever seen the Island of the Dead?
No.
Okay, the Island of the Dead is where they put. Well, it was a sanitarium before they start doing this. But you guys ever wonder where they put all those COVID bodies nobody claimed that was in New York?
Yeah.
Where
you ever wonder?
Yeah, I do wonder.
They put them in the Island of the Dead. They took what is that prison? They took some inmates out of Rikers, hired them for 5 cents a day, 5 cents an hour, and took in all these cardboard boxes. No matter if it was male, female, kid, doesn't matter. They dug the holes, put these bodies, they just stacked them on top of each other, covered them up.
Like pauper graves.
Same old. Dug big old trenches and just stacked them all the way up and covered them up. Mind you, now, it was a sanitarium before they did that. So there were bodies already there.
Wow.
And what's so crazy about it, guys, the state officials, they told the people of New York the only way you're going to get on that island if you have somebody that's buried there. Okay, dude, if you're burying 10,000 people, how in the hell are you even going to visit them if you don't even know where the hell they're at?
Yeah.
I don't understand that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to go to Island of the Dead. You guys can look that up. And it's somewhere, I think in I want to say about Manhattan somewhere. It's somewhere over there.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's one
definitely.
of
Yeah.
I think it's called Hart Island.
Heart Island is maybe what it's called. Well, look, we'll find out.
yeah, it's a very interesting place. And you know, it's one of those islands, you know, you got to have a family member on there to go visit, which I'm still trying to figure that one out.
Yeah.
And then you got to have proof that they're on the island.
Wow.
This is it. It's Hart Island is what it's called. It was a Civil War prison camp, and then it was a psychiatric institution, and a tuberculosis
Yep.
hospital, and then it was the
Yeah.
reformatory jail.
Yep.
Wow. Interesting.
Pretty crazy, ain't it?
Yes,
So
sir.
if you guys can manage to get on that island, and then hey, I will fly up there
Well,
to
if
come
we do, we will
investigate with you
definitely let
guys.
you know, man.
I mean, because
Yes.
that would be an interesting place. Can you? And you know what? I think the spirits are actually had got their own. I mean, spirits usually don't want other spirits around, especially if it's something that they claim that it's their own.
Yeah.
So him having all those other bodies there, that I think that's a conflict within itself.
Oh, absolutely. I can only imagine. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, what you doing here? Yeah, man, what you
Yeah.
doing here? Man, yeah, it's crazy. All right, guys. Hey, tell the world how to get a hold of Next of Kin Paranormal.
You can. You know all the media, so I only know Facebook. You can follow us on Facebook for sure. Next to Kin Paranormal.
I have a TikTok set up for us. It's Next of Kin Paranormal, and I think I have it as NOK_paranormal, something along that. If you look up Next of Kin Paranormal on TikTok, you can find us. And I have a YouTube that's Next of Kin Paranormal that's up. There's no videos on it yet. We're gonna be working on that soon. So
Yeah. There are some funny videos of some stuff that we've done. I think you put on there, or no, that's TikTok. Yeah, but yeah, we're this year we're working on the YouTube stuff. So, but yeah, check us out on Facebook, TikTok, and follow us on YouTube or whatever it is, and
you can find it.
yeah.
All right. Well, you know what, guys? It has been a pleasure having you guys on the show.
Thanks for
I
having me.
really appreciate it, man. I really do.
We were excited to do it.
Yeah, you guys are doing an amazing job up there, man.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you guys are doing, man. And the sky's the limit for you guys. I really feel that. You know what I'm saying? If you guys are ever in the Texas area, feel free to give me a call. If you guys ever get on that island, give me a call, and trust me,
Absolutely,
we would not have no problem taking I don't know how long of a drive that would be. Probably about
27 hours.
Yeah, man, a little longer than what I want to sit on my butt on.
I know it's about an 18-hour drive to Missouri. So.
Yeah, so I don't want to do that, dude. I drove 13 hours just in Texas, and I didn't even leave the state, and that tells you just how big. That tells you just how big Texas is.
Yeah, that's big.
You know what I'm saying? But hey, guys, I really appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Thanks for having us.
You know, please, there anybody out there that want to come on the show, tell their stories like these gentlemen have, feel free to contact me. You know, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram. You can find me on Twitch. You can find me on so many: Facebook, Twitch, Instagram. You can find me on Rumble. Yeah, you can find me on so many social media outlets. I'm out there, guys. So if you guys interested in coming on the show, please give me a holler, man. Hey, you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. I think I'm gonna go eat me some of this leftover dressing that we got left over here. But anyway, hey guys, appreciate it, man. Let's do this again. And
Absolutely.
I hope to hear from you guys next week when two brothers on the show. You know, pop on in and say hello. You know, hey,
absolutely,
I really
we will. Definitely, yep. We definitely
All
will,
right,
man.
guys. Yeah, hey,
right.
this is
Thanks.
NSPS TV Paranormal signing off. Peace. Hey, you guys
Peace.
have a good one now.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All
Bye.
right.